everybody. Thank you for having me. Special thank you to Michael and New Outlook Wealth for inviting me to attend this event today. I'm really excited to talk to you about really innovation and further the conversation that Ali's been having for you over the last little bit here. So I am just gonna start my presentation. All right, does everybody see my screen here? I guess I don't get thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you want to give me an okay, Mike?
We do see it, but it's in the different mode, the different PowerPoint mode, slide mode. Oh, okay, there we see me now. Yeah, I was in presenter view.
All right.
It may have just popped up on a different screen.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, tell me what you're seeing, because my screens look backwards to me today.
I see PowerPoint. It's good. Yeah. Okay, we can probably change this. It's going to. There you go. There you go. Now you're good.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay, well, that's great. So the goal of our presentation today here with you is to really inspire you to think about the future. So not here to sell anything, but one of the biggest challenges in our industry is actually getting people to think differently. I probably haven't met a lot of you on the call today. Some of you maybe I have, but I have been in the financial services industry for about 17, 18 years now. The last 15 and a half I spent at Manulife distributing bank products into the independent advisor space, and most recently have joined Conquest Planning as their Vice President of Sales and Marketing. And I joined Conquest specifically because of the vision and mission that they have to drive change within our industry. One of the biggest challenges that I've felt over the last several years working in financial services is the pain of the friction of how hard it is to do business. So getting insurance, think about mortgage origination, co-planning between clients and advisors. And Conquest is really on a mission to provide a better digital co-planning experience with all the robust calculations you would expect from a good financial planning software, but do it in a way as part of an overall ecosystem. So the hope today is that we'll talk a little bit about the future and get you thinking differently and inspire motivation. Technology is transforming the way that we work and the way that we live. And so I titled our presentation today, Thrive, Survive, or Die, because every decision we make in life is going to help us to either thrive. So we tend to do things that will make us feel better and be better and be improved, or have a fulfillment that we're seeking after. Sometimes we're just in survival mode. I've got 3 little kids, so that's the case at my house a lot of the time. Or from a business standpoint, if we don't thrive or survive or find ways to innovate, there is possibility that we will see lots of businesses start to fade out over the coming years as technology is coming and converging technology is coming together to transform how we work. So turn up your speakers, lean in, listen with me, and come along for the next 30 minutes. I'm going to kick us off today with a little video, and the next 30 minutes I'm sure will fly by. So if you're sitting down, I'll encourage you to stand up. The next video is just a few minutes, and let's watch it together. I just want to check, is it playing sound, Michael?
Not at the moment, no. No, which is odd because it did work last time.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Sorry, guys.
It's all good.
Yeah. Okay, I think we figured it out.
Once upon a time, business as usual was often good enough. No more. Where we are going, good enough is dead. In a world where everything is connected, where everything is equally excellent, where performance is reaching perfection, there's only one space left to innovate in: you. Right now, you are a central point in the raging tornado of change fueled by digitization, mobilization, augmentation, disintermediation, automation. Well, the list goes on. Science fiction is becoming science fact. Think about self-driving cars or computers that can learn and think. The way we work will never be the same. The skills we need will be dramatically different. Winning or losing are now happening faster than ever before. So what's your response? How will you discover new opportunities in one of the most transformational times in human history? Are you driving change, or are you being driven by it? Disruption has become the new normal. With change, it's always gradually, then suddenly, well, things really have stopped happening gradually. This change is exponential. Everything that used to be dumb and disconnected is now wired and intelligent. Cars, cities, ports, farms, even our bodies will be wired with sensors and will talk to each other. These game changers are also combinatorial. They amplify each other, creating a perfect storm of change. Quantum computing fuels big data. The Internet of Things fuels artificial intelligence and deep learning, which fuels robotics. However, anything that cannot be digitized or automated will become extremely valuable. Human-only traits such as creativity, imagination, intuition, emotion, and ethics will be even more important in the future, because machines are very good at simulating, but not at being. Yes, robots and software will do some of our work, but this will allow us to focus on things that cannot be automated. To imagine change squared, you've got to start engaging more with what might be, not just with what is. Immerse yourself in the immediate future, 5 to 7 years out from today. We need to go beyond technology and data to reach human insights and wisdom. Technology represents the how of change, but humans represent the why. The future is about holistic business model. The opportunity is to be liquid, to learn just in time, not just in case, not single improvements, but complete transformations, not individual systems, but new ecosystems. Humanity is where true and lasting value is created. We will engage, relate, and buy things because of the experiences they provide, because of their transformative power. The future doesn't just happen, the future gets happened. The new way to work is to embrace technology, but not to become it. The future is in technology, yet the bigger future lies in transcending it. Let's live and lead from here.
All right. So that video is by one of my favorite futurists. I follow a lot of his work. His name's Gerd Leonard, and he has spoken at a number of events that I've been lucky to be at. And the thing that I love about how he presents the future is it's not fearful. It's not from a place of fear. And often with humans, if we think about change, it is fearful for us because we don't know what the future holds. And so embracing that change and being confident in envisioning what a positive future might look like takes effort, and it takes us challenging the mental models and the assumptions that we've built throughout our lives. So the thing about humans that's so impressive to me is how resilient and adaptable we are. It's innate in us. If you think about what has happened over the last year and how quickly we've pivoted to do various things. So we're particularly adaptable when we're put inside pressure cookers. Just think about how many things had to change for you to navigate along the way over the last year. Think about how you ran your business maybe 3 years ago versus what 2020 and even 2021 has looked like, how we do insurance applications, how we fulfill our business, how we engage our clients, how we find new clients, how we market, how we communicate. All these things have changed dramatically and will continue to do so because we're seeing what's possible. In our industry in particular, the industry remains ripe for disruption through automation of things that are repetitive and maybe not value added to the client advisor relationship. So today, let's look at a few of the industry challenges together. So if you look at the first item here, consumer expectations are outpacing experiences in the financial advisory space. So if you think about clients, they often experience frustration and confusion with the process of getting advice. Much as we as advisors may not like hearing that, many of your clients don't understand and process numbers the same way you do. That's why they have you and why it's important that you're in their life to give them guidance and direction on those things. They may feel that it's time consuming and complex and overwhelming, but what they really value is the relationship with you. And at the core of that relationship is the trust that they have built in you. The second challenge is fragmented data. So data on each client resides all over the place. Think about your own personal situation. How many bank accounts do you have? Maybe you have a mortgage, maybe you have 2 mortgages, how many properties you have. Think about your portfolios and your investments. Maybe those investments are spread across various institutions. And a lack of a holistic view of that client scenario makes giving great holistic advice challenging. So what's happened in the industry is we've ended up giving fragmented advice on pieces of the situation, of the client situation, but it lacks an overarching holistic viewpoint, which means although we may well advise on one area of the client's overall financial picture, without all of the data together informing that financial picture, we may be missing opportunities or ill-advising a client unknowingly. The third challenge in the industry is holistic planning takes effort. So any of you who have been in the industry for a while know that it is challenging for the amount of time it takes to create a financial plan or pull together data from a client. So collecting all that data, analyzing that data, creating a plan, and we lack singularity from a locational standpoint of where to see all of that information in one place. Lastly, we're in an era of information overload. So if we think about media and marketing and what media and marketing pushes, so those late night purchases that Ali was talking about between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. So statistically, it's yes, because the kids are in bed, but it's also because our mental resiliency has reduced by that time in the evening. We're more likely to make purchases, especially purchases that feel good to us. So, you know, maybe for myself, I like shoes. So if I'm scrolling on, you know, one of the social media feeds late at night and an advertisement comes up that speaks to my personal preferences because AI's walking around my phone looking at what I look for, you know, those shoes might pop up as a purchase that I could make at that time. So marketing and media is really geared at what we can buy and how it will improve our lives, but not necessarily do we have the same kind of transparency on the impacts of our financial decisions today on our future lives. So that transition into retirement and how to extend assets and having an understanding of the impact of our decision today on our future selves is something that needs to be addressed in our industry. You've seen some of these logos already today. You may see a few more from future presenters, but it is a really important point to think about for a moment. We're so busy in our businesses day to day, and we go about, you know, calling clients and setting things up and getting their plans in place and getting their insurance set up and getting their investments set up and helping them meet their needs. But sometimes we forget to peek up from our business and look around and survey the landscape and see what is actually happening in the industry. And just think about your life and how you know, a few examples here, how you buy items, Amazon. Think about how you get food, how, especially in the last year, how we order food, how we see a doctor with Akira, even how we consume entertainment. And we heard a little bit about, you know, Netflix and their competition being sleep. So thinking differently about what your clients might be expecting because of some of these experiences, how we log our fitness, how we log our nutrition, how we get a car, how we you know, interact and communicate with people around the world. I remember prior to the pandemic, we had adopted video conferencing technology with our team, and it was really challenging to get people to be willing to turn on their camera because it was uncomfortable. It's new, nobody likes seeing themselves on camera. But now I think about my experiences recently, and I can't remember the last time I actually used my cell phone to make a phone call to somebody. I'm always setting up video conferencing meetings, as I think is the standard in the industry with how we communicate with each other. So consumer expectations are changing, and as a result, we're going to see more and more demand from our clients and customers with how we engage them, how we fill their needs. And there is so much data and research, we don't have time to go into it today, but there is so much data and research on the expectations of consumers from a technology and fulfillment standpoint in the financial services space that I think we'll continue to see aggressive growth and adoption of technologies in this area, which is exciting. The second challenge we talked about was the diversification of data. So this concept of, do we diversify or do we aggregate? And you know, you think from an investing standpoint, diversification is a positive thing. It diversifies risk across maybe several different asset classes or industry sectors, or, you know, maybe other types of investing that are important for the client. But from a data and an analytics standpoint, aggregation actually brings much power. So if you didn't see the announcement we made a press release at Conquest Planning on Tuesday, and had an article. I'll post it up in the chat after I'm done presenting today. But we've recently partnered with Flinks to provide data aggregation into our Conquest Planning tool, which simply means clients will be able to attach their bank accounts and other investment accounts into the financial planning tool and ingest all of that data, so that instead of advisors assuming budgeting of what the client is actually spending, or I've seen everything over the years. I've seen jars, I've seen envelopes, I've seen apps, I've seen tons of apps, I've seen books of mental mindsets, and all of those things don't really work because it creates a lot of work on the client. You actually have to send them away and say, bring your statements, track your statements, upload them into an Excel file. We'll analyze it that way. Aggregation allows for those APIs or those portals to move data securely from one platform to another platform, so that that data can be ingested and provide a better experience at the end of the day for the advisor and for the end client. So we're really excited about this partnership going live, because it means more ability for frictionless experiences delivered by advisors, making you those superheroes in your clients' lives. Challenge number 3 was the time wasters, the time it takes to create a financial plan. If you are currently using a financial planning software, there's a whole bunch in the marketplace. You'll know that a lot of the planning software requires trial and error. So you try out a strategy, or you make a recommendation within the plan, and you see what the impact of that is. You present it to the client. They may or may not agree to it. They say, I want to change something. You go back, you change it within the platform. We've created a seamless integrated client advisor experience, so that as you're going through the planning process and setting goals, you can show iterations of goals and what goal achievement might look like today or in the future for the client. So one of the fundamental challenges with goals-based investing and goals-based planning is it takes in the presumption that clients know what their goals are when they sit down with you. And the reality is most clients don't know what their goals are. And so having the ability to act as a coach to guide them along that path, like most clients will say, yeah, I want to retire at 65. Well, great. Why do you want to retire at 65? Well, I don't know. That's when everybody else retires. And there's, you know, a whole conversation around that. But if you could show them, hey, you could actually retire at 62 with this, and you could do it immediately on screen really easily, it makes setting and locking those goals down very easy and simple. Not to mention the data entry, gathering data, and that seamless integration into back office systems or CRM tools to bring in the client data so that onboarding is smooth transition for the client into the planning experience. So we provide those integration connections. One illustration I like to use here is you think about the pieces that are really human and the human aspects, that trust, that ethics, that intuition, that creativity, the things that are really valuable for you to work on as advisors versus crunching numbers at the end of the day. If you think about how much time goes into deciding when to take CPP, there are 120 different possible start dates for CPP, okay? There are 60 possible different start dates for OAS. The RIF can be taken between age 60 and 71, representing 415 possible start dates to take your RIF. If you look at CPP and OAS combined, that's 7,200 possible combinations of start dates to start those two types of pensions. And when you layer in your RIF opportunity to start withdrawing from your RIF, it represents 29 million different combinations. So we believe that let the robots do those kinds of calculations that are just simply math that can be combined with the rest of their financial plan and allow advisors more time to focus on serving more families or deepening the connection of the relationship that they have with their clients. The last challenge we talked about is this concept of financial well-being, and it plays such an important role in our lives to impact how we live and how we thrive and how we survive. The key here is helping people to understand if they're financially well. Are they going to be okay? And the way to do that is to be able to show them on paper with an illustration that you've addressed all of their what-if concerns, you've planned for their current situation in life, but you've got a backup plan to be able to navigate as their life manages winds going forward. So no client's life takes a straight path. You think about, we get married, we have children, we sometimes get divorced, we have second families, there's all kinds of life events that happen. We lose our jobs, we get new jobs, we move, we sell homes. All of those things need to be well planned to provide peace of mind and security to clients. But the key is to help with transparency of seeing the impact of the choices on the financial plan. It's kind of how Noom has been so successful by providing nudges for successful weight loss and not being overwhelming. The key really is to make it simple. And I would be remiss if I didn't add a statistic here to show the economic impact of the value of advice. So don't think for 1 second that there isn't value in advice, actual economic value in advice. Using a financial advisor for more than 15 years has an average 173%. Those clients have on average 173% more assets than their non-advised counterparts. So those human traits of emotion and ethics and intuition, robots will never take over that. But focusing on the impact of those relationships, again, I'm repeating because I think it's really important for us to be able to adopt technology and let technology do what technology does best. Garrett always says the future is not about holistic business models, not individual systems, but complete ecosystems. And we heard Ali talk a lot about that in the last conversation as well. So I'm going to just give you a high level of what Conquest does to address this, and I'm going to close out with another video as well. So Conquest Planning, and I'll offer up here, Michael, anybody on the call today that would like to join in for a demo of the Conquest Planning platform, I will be happy to offer a follow-up to this event and do a complete demo. It takes an hour to go through, so I would want to do it justice. But here's the basic solution of what we offer at Conquest Planning. So we have a digital fact-finding platform that allows for the user to identify strategies faster with minimal data entry. If we have the integration with the firms we connect with, we can have that data fed in automatically. Our users can leverage aggregation to connect all financial accounts into a single location. Conquest provides smart advice in digestible fashion with the embedded built-in artificial intelligence, serving up the next best financial option for the client, including financial literacy and transparency on the reasons that strategy is important for the client. We offer and can embed financial products through our API to call on specific products relevant to a plan. So it could be insurance or investments or savings, which strengthens the correlation between the advice and the product solution that you're recommending. We have a digital collaboration portal where clients and advisors each have their own separate portals and can communicate through. We cover off compliance needs through reporting on implemented deferred strategies and provide organizational oversight for compliance purposes. We help with the ability to export strategies to further automate product selection and fulfillment. We give plan analytics on it so you can see over time the aggregation of what clients are gravitating towards from a strategy standpoint. And then we can work with CRM tools or back office systems to integrate to make that, that experience similar to what Ali was saying. So Conquest is a pure financial planning play, but you'll notice that we've partnered with firms like Purpose Advisory Solutions to distribute through their network. We also have partnered with Flinks to provide the data aggregation. We've partnered with a number of different other companies, but we are the planning play, and our hope is to be the planning engine behind every financial plan globally is our aspiration. So I'm going to end us on another video and then we'll close out.
The future. Are you excited or are you worried? Because the next 20 years will bring more change than the previous 300 years. Technology is rebooting the very idea of work. How we work, when we work, where we work, and sooner or later, why we work. You know, computers are no longer stupid. They're watching, they're listening, they're speaking, they're learning, and they may even be thinking. Science fiction is becoming science fact, and the end of routine work is only one of the outcomes. So how much of your work is routine? You know, the searching, invoicing, filing, organizing, checking, updating, monitoring. Need I go on? Rest assured, anything that can be automated, digitized, or virtualized will be. This is as certain as music is in the cloud, cars are driving themselves, and money is going digital. Automation is reducing the need for road and manual labor everywhere. And smart machines will soon do the knowledge work as well. Blue collar, white collar, whatever color your work is, it is going to be disrupted. Over the next 15 years, every technological limitation will virtually vanish. Imagine virtually unlimited processing power, global access to real-time data, machines that can move around like we do, quantum leaps and battery technology, and then even faster breakthroughs in artificial intelligence and deep learning. Clearly, competing with such powerful machines on their turf has no future. Working like a robot has no future. Learning like a robot has no future. It's a recipe for permanent unemployment. When artificial intelligence meets human intelligence, it's the end of routine as we know it. But take heart. This is not the end of our jobs. It's not the end of our work. It's not the end of our purpose. Rather, a new age of human-only work is beginning. Let's be honest. Few of us enjoy menial work and boring routines, even if we may like the security that comes with jobs like this. You know, increased automation is a certainty in all industries, but very few jobs are 100% automatable, 100% routine. Humans can easily deal with unforeseen events, complex challenges requiring judgment, intuition, and improvisation. Whatever is easy for a computer is hard for humans, and vice versa. This will be true for the foreseeable future. Yes, there is a life beyond automation, but only if we are prepared and if we work together. Only if governments start to plan for the kind of education and training we need, and provided we can have a serious conversation about if and how we should tax automation, and what a universal basic income may look like. Now imagine a world, maybe 2030, where we only work 3 to 4 hours a day, but for the same money, because our machines are taking care of the routines. Picture a world where the cost of energy, water, food, healthcare is dramatically lower because technology has brought abundance. See yourself in a future where work is no longer the same as purpose, where we can get purpose from what we can and what we are meant to do, not what we have to do to make a living. What if education actually helped us to discover how we can thrive as humans, not as better robots? What if routine work was replaced by the adventure of vocational careers? What if learning were actually lifelong and full of reinvention? So how will we get ready for this future? Leave your chores to the software and the bots. Focus on those purely human things that are our future. Move up the food chain to become indispensable in this hyper-connected world. Rediscover those talents and traits that make you unique. As Oscar Wilde once said, be yourself, everyone else is taken. Become comfortable with being uncomfortable. Warm up to the discomfort of permanent evolution. This is the new normal. We're entering a constant state of VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. But you can meet volatility with velocity. You can fight uncertainty with unorthodoxy. You can answer complexity with creativity, and you can defeat ambiguity with awesomeness. Don't perfect your dying routines, and don't let your kids even get started with learning them. Downloading information to a hard drive is a dead end. Instead, train them in understanding, intuition, imagination, foresight, storytelling, and empathy. Strong skills in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics will be essential. But achieving excellence in humanity, ethics, creativity, imagination will become equally decisive. The more we digitize our world, the more human we can and we must become. The future works differently, but that might be the best thing that ever happened to us.
So I'll end on that. Be yourself because everybody else is taken, and being human is actually what is your superpower. So as you're building your practice and you're moving forward and thinking about what the future holds for you, I'll challenge each of you to think a little bit differently about what is possible. And I will also put up my email in the question and answer. I'm going to wrap it because we're right at time, Michael. But thank you again for the invitation.